Welcome into the Merrifield Sportsbook Show. It is week 7 of the college football season. The weeks are flying by. It feels like we just started a week or two ago, and here we are almost halfway through October. This week, our good friend Justin Walsh not joining us, but we still do have Jay DeCoster and Matt Merrifield. Jay, we'll go with you first. How are you feeling on this Thursday as we record? How are you doing today?
Yeah, it's good that my baseball team's still alive. I don't know how, but it's good that the postseason baseball's continuing to roll on, and great college football slate this weekend, and excited to watch. Just excited to watch two pretty bad football teams battle out in East Lansing. I forgot the offensive coordinator's name for UCLA, but excited for him to call the plays for UCLA. So very excited.
Matt, I know how you're feeling because hockey is back. I just have one question for you. Is the future teal?
Well, apparently the future is teal and not now. The present is not teal because for some reason 2 of your top 3 prospects are not playing tonight, even though they made the professional roster and they signed their ELCs. Interesting strategy. As I point out to you, Nick, 3 of the 6 players will be starting on the ice for the San Jose Sharks' starting lineup in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup in 4 years. Michael Misa at center, Sam Dickinson on left defense, and Yaroslav Askarov in goal are not playing tonight, 2 of which are healthy scratches, and Askarov will be wearing probably a similar hat to what I'm wearing on the bench. I don't understand the strategy behind it. I get the load management, but it's night 1. Ryan Reeves can't skate. He's going to have to hope that Mitch Marner skates into him if he wants to lay him out. It's fine. The future is teal. Everything's great. We're tanking for Christian Verhoff. Everything's good. Can't wait.
Not even tanking for Gavin McKenna.
I think I'm out on Gavin McKenna. Simply, I don't know. Penn State wants to be the villains. They can be the villains. It's weird. I don't get it. But
anyways. I completely agree there. Very odd weekend to start the college hockey season out in Tempe for Penn State. But let's get into the football. What a very good weekend slate. I know the past few weekends haven't been the greatest, but we do have some good games this weekend. And one of those is going to be the college game day game. And that is Indiana traveling to Eugene to take on Oregon. Oregon is a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under is 55.5. Jay DeCoster, I'll go to you first here. This is Indiana's biggest test so far. I know we said it was going to be Illinois. Illinois doesn't seem to be that good, but Indiana was home for that game. They're now traveling out west against the team that won the Big Ten last year, may even be better than they were last year. Does Indiana have a shot to keep this close?
Well, I certainly do like Mendoza. I think he's very good, and I think he's better than Curtis Rourke. He's got the arm talent, and he can certainly lead Indiana to a 10-win season, 9-10 win season. But I mean, we all know the stuff we do on the show. We talk about all the time. Big Ten teams traveling out to West Coast. Big Ten doesn't work out, especially Eugene. Very tough place to play, especially with this Oregon team, who when travel all the way across the country, beat Penn State, who is not that good still, but it was the whiteout. It's still a very tough game to win. This is just a very tough spot for Indiana. I saw it at 7, but 7.5. I like Oregon in the spot a lot. I just think, Dante Moore has been very, very good this season. I just like the defense that they have with Mateo Uiagalelei and all those guys back for another year. So I do like Oregon in this spot. This is Indiana's first huge test. I know the Illinois win being them by a billion was impressive, but you're facing Oregon. This is a different style of beast, and you're going on the road. So I like Oregon minus the 7.5. I really like them in the spot.
Matt, we'll go to you next. As Jay, as Jay mentioned, Indiana heading out to the West Coast. We saw a very real case of that last weekend with Penn State losing at UCLA to a very bad UCLA team. Is this going to be a struggle for Indiana to adjust to obviously the fly over, and is it going to cause them trouble in this game?
I mean, as we've talked about and I've bet on plenty of times this year as the East Coast to West Coast travel, that really doesn't play much factor into here. I mean, Autzen Stadium's a top 8 toughest place to play in the country. And it will be once again packed to the brim, as loud as can be, the Autzen Zoo on Saturday afternoon. Honestly, I have to give credit to Joel Klatt, because when he comes to not talking about Michigan or Ohio State, or Drew Aller, he's got something decent to say. And this time I saw him talk about the Indiana's ability to run the football. So I decided to dive into Curt Cignetti and the Indiana Hoosiers. 18 games so far under Curt Cignetti. How many times do you guys think they've ran for under 100 yards?
I'm going to go like 3 or 4.
I was going to say 7.
3 times they've been held to under 100 yards on the ground. When Indiana played Notre Dame in the playoff, when they played Ohio State last year, and then last year when they played Michigan, which for those that don't remember, Indiana won 20-15. The other 2 games were their 2 losses last year, and they weren't really close. They lost by, I believe, they ended up losing only by like 10 to Notre Dame in the playoff, but then it was like a 21-point loss in the horseshoe. Last week against Iowa, or 2 weeks ago before their bye, they only ran for 104 yards, and that was a really close football game. I don't see how they're going to be able to run the ball on the road. Mendoza's look good, but once again, it's been predicated on the fact that they can run the football. They don't have the beasts up front that Oregon does. I think this is my lock of the week. I think Oregon kills them. I would lay north of 10 points in this game. I know it's 7.5. I feel really good about this game. 3:30. Dan Lanning always has something to prove. And I can only imagine some of the things, regardless of who wins this game, some of the things that will be said in the post-game press conference will be very meme-worthy and Twitter-worthy. But I'm sure Dan Lanning will say something about being Googled. But yeah, give me the Ducks big in this spot.
This is a program moment for Indiana.
Yeah,
Do we have a stat on Sabrina's record as the guest picker for Oregon football?
I believe 1-0.
That's all I needed to hear.
So
Let's go Ducks.
Yeah, that's all I got for you here. I could be completely wrong on that. I feel like it's 1-0 because it feels like Oregon always wins when game day's in town. Again, don't have an official stat on that one, but I love Oregon in this game. And this shows that we don't talk about our picks before, because I had Oregon as my lock also. We will be going back to the drawing board when we get to
it was also mine.
Okay. We'll get that. Maybe we just make Oregon the triple lock of the week, which is.
I had a feeling. I thought Nick was going to make it his lock, so I guess I kind of jumped the gun early. But I can pick a different game. I'm happy enough with the slate. It's just the mortal. I mean, Jay Walsh didn't pick it as his lock, so I guess we could. Who really wants it that badly? I will give it up. You two can fight over it.
I don't. No. Nick, you're the bigger Oregon fan, so
I'm letting Matt have this one. He said it first. I can go back to the drawing board.
I'll take it then. But
so, you know what? It is what it is. I love Oregon in this game. Even though I hate the uniforms, I think this is kind of a terrible look. But again, Oregon always seems to win when game day is in town. Matt said, about Indiana's running game, it's not good when they play good teams. I think Oregon gets many stops in this game, and I don't think it's particularly close. Now that I say that, Indiana's going to win by 2, but Matt.
Could this look like a game, what was it, 2 years ago? Now it might be 2 years ago when the Oregon Ducks played Colorado. That game was still in September. I think it was the very end of September. But, it was kind of a big spread in Autzen, and we all know what Bo Nix did to Deion Sanders. Now, keep in mind, Curt Cignetti, much better football coach than Deion Sanders. But I kind of feel like that might have a similar feel to it where, and as Mike Merrifield just pointed out, friend of the program, as he left the kitchen, He thinks this is a program-defining game for the Hoosiers. He thinks that if Indiana wants to be taken seriously, this is a game that they have to go out and at least contend in, right? They're not necessarily win the game, but because of how they did in the playoff and some of these games against the bigger, better teams. So I agree with him, but I don't think Indiana's got the horses to do it.
That was a great point there by a friend of the program, Mike Merrifield, because it does really feel like this is a program-defining game for Indiana. We see them dominate every week when they're playing, FCS Midwest and Iowa. They don't do it against big teams. This is a very big game for them. I think I did actually think this week, Matt, about that Colorado game. It has similar vibes. Like you said, Cignetti is actually a good coach, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a blowout. But Oregon, I think, wins quite easily. Another game, this is not on our sheet, but I'm just adding it on because me and Jay talked about it pre-show. It is the Red River Shootout, Oklahoma, Texas. Texas is a 1.5-point favorite, which is something. The over-under at 43.5. Matt, we'll go to you first here. Oklahoma apparently trying to start John Mateer this weekend. They're underdogs in this game for some reason. Arch Manning doesn't look good. What is going to come out of this game on Saturday in Dallas?
That line is radioactive, and I believe it's been set with the intention that John Mateer is not going to play. Now, if he does play, I'm sure it'll shift back in favor of the Sooners. I want nothing to do with it. Obviously, it falls under the Mike Merrifield rule, which would make me inclined to take Texas. So if you're asking me to pick a side, I am taking Texas because they have a healthy starting quarterback. Oklahoma did not cover against Kent State last week, and it was 45.5 points. Sure, you had your backup quarterback, but Kent State's terrible. So from that standpoint, I still believe in Texas defense. Can Sarkisian put it together? And also, it feels like, and I could be wrong, just because I haven't looked too much, I kind of just avoided this game all week. It feels like the underdog in this game, or I should say the lower ranked team in this game, typically Texas the last couple of years, but I guess Oklahoma the last 2 or 3 years with Sark, where the lesser team wins. And kind of this is their Super Bowl. Obviously, it is the biggest rivalry game between the two schools of the year. So that kind of makes me inclined to take Texas as well. They're going to show up. Sure, things haven't gone their way, but this is their chance to make it right. And people forget a lot of the issues. And I don't think Arch Manning's the biggest issue with the Texas Longhorns. Is he part of the problem? Is he part of the solution? I don't know. He has not been helping them go in the right direction, but he's also not the biggest part of the problem. I think play calling, honestly, might be the biggest issue. Some of the things they're trying to run, I don't know what Sark is exactly doing, and he has tended to be trying to be the smartest man in the room. So, but I think Texas gets it done. I like their defense. Mateer rushed back, or I forget what his first name is, but Hawkins is the backup quarterback for the Sooners. Rivalry spot. I have to lean Texas in this place.
Jay, we'll go to you next. Your kind of thoughts here on this game. Obviously, Oklahoma, Mateer hasn't played in 3 weeks, I want to say. Even if he does, he's probably going to come out rusty. Is that going to be a big enough factor, do you think, if in this game?
No, I was going to say before you ask that question, how effective is he going to be? Like, he might be playing hurt too. It's like he's probably not going to be 100%. So, yeah, I would not touch this game as well. As we were talking pre-show, it's like I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. With Arch's limitations and their inability to run the football, and Oklahoma side with Mateer, can you trust anybody back there to help cover for him? So, yeah, I would probably lean Texas as well. I have to get a little revenge, or I'm sorry, not revenge, but I think they could get it done, especially without, Mateer. Is just like, Mateer is a very talented quarterback, and you just can't trust whoever's behind him to win a game like this. And Texas defense is still, they still have a lot of talent on that defense, and if they want to show up for a game like this, they got some really good guys back there, like Anthony Hill Jr. So I would also lean Texas. I think over-under is like 43.5. Like, last year the under hit because Texas won 37-3. You might as well just take the under at this point. I mean, it's just super weird. So, but yeah, I would probably lean Texas as well.
It, like you guys have said, this line is radioactive. Really want nothing to do with it whatsoever. With the way it's set, just it feels like it's a trap. And usually I like walking into traps and trying to prove the haters wrong. That I don't think that's the situation in this game. Staying as far away as possible. If I had to pick somebody, given the quarterback uncertainty with Oklahoma, even if Mateer plays, like Jay said, don't know how effective he's going to be. I'm going to go with Texas. I don't love it. I feel like there's been a lot thrown on this Texas team this past week with that loss on Saturday. They need this win. And I think they find a way to do it because Matt mentioned it feels like every year, like whoever the underdog is in this game usually finds a way to either keep it close or win. Give me Texas in this one. Again, staying away, but give me Texas. So given that, let's move into our picks. Obviously, Justin Walsh is not here, but we do have his picks. So, Matt, would you like to do the picks for Jay Walsh here, or would we like to invite on a special guest?
The special guest is here to give some of his own special picks. He says he's only reading off picks that are his own damn ones.
Okay,
I'm
that's
loosely
fine.
translating what he
I
told
will
me.
not speak for Jay Walsh. I have a winning record this year.
So does Jay Walsh. But anyways, I'll read them. Let me go find them. Oh. Anyways, I only have one overlap pick with Jay Walsh, which is a good sign. Anyways, first pick for Mr. Justin Walsh. He on Friday night is taking the Washington Huskies to cover 10.5 versus the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Next up, he's taking the Ohio State Illinois over 49.5. Bold strategy. He likes the Terrapins, Maryland plus 6.5 against Nebraska. Tennessee minus 12.5 versus Arkansas. It's a big number. And then Utah minus 5.5 versus Arizona State. I love that pick.
Lock of the week.
Thank you for some. But his lock of the week is the Tennessee Volunteers against brand new head coach. This is Bobby Petrino's first game, correct?
Yes. Well, first game of his second stint.
First game of his second stint. What Bobby Petrino did was 3D chess. I like the Hogs this weekend. I think that's a lot of points to internally destroy your program so you can become the head coach again. You get 2 thumbs up from me. So, yeah, those are 5 of the picks of all time. I agree with Arizona, but with the Utah pick, I would not take the over in the Ohio State Illinois game. That has Ohio State scoring 21 points written all over it, and that won't be enough. So, but otherwise, we'll see what happens. May the odds be ever in your favor. Godspeed, Jay Walsh. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next because why not? I looked at this board this week, and I don't know what I picked, honestly. It is a mess of games. First one being Oregon. Give me the 7.5. They're going to win by double digits. It is what it is. Second game on the board, UNLV minus 6.5 against Air Force. Air Force doesn't seem to be good. I mean, they lost to Hawaii at home. UNLV is 5-0. Best start since the 70s. Dan Mullen might be coaching for a job in Fayetteville because you just know he wants back in the SEC. Give me the Rebels. Love them here. There'll be about 10,000 people in that stadium at Allegiant Stadium, and Air Force isn't going to know what to do. Trap house of the weekend. Give me USC minus 2.5. Michigan isn't good. They're traveling cross country. This game isn't at 11 p.m. though, which is kind of disappointing. They really should have done that, but give me USC minus 2.5. I think they win this game. Minnesota minus 9.5 against Purdue. Purdue is very bad. I watched them myself this past weekend when they played Illinois, not in person though, just on a computer. But they are very bad. And Minnesota might not be good either. But give me Minnesota minus 9.5, and we're closing it out as it seems. This and UConn always seem to pop up on my parlays. Give me Hawaii plus 1.5 against Utah State. I mean, a home team getting points, especially on the island, what's better than that? So I don't know if I said my lock. Give me UNLV. Why not? Because sure, it's fun. Jay DeCoster, I'm selecting you next to go with your picks here.
I would love to go next. All right, 3-2 week last week. The lock hit again, so that's good stuff. We're gonna start off Friday night. North Texas is hosting USF, the USF Bulls. I really like North Texas minus 1.5 at home here. High-powered offense. I like them laying 1.5 against the Bulls. Oregon minus 7. I think we talked about that. Oregon's just they're gonna run through Indiana like a freight train. So give me the Ducks minus 7 in Eugene. Next time, also tailing Jay Walsh here and going Tennessee minus 12.5 against Arkansas. I mean, 2 touchdowns against a team that just fired the coach. I think they can do that. And Tennessee's still overall pretty solid. So give me the Vols minus 12.5. Next, Arizona versus BYU. This is Trap House City for BYU. I love Arizona plus 1.5 here. Down in the desert, plus the 1.5. So give me Arizona there. Next, I got Texas Tech minus 14 against Kansas in Lubbock, 6:30 in Lubbock. Place is going to be rocking. Texas Tech is a very good team this year. And you're telling me they can cover 2 touchdowns against Kansas, who's all right, but at home, I like that. Next, my lock of the week. I am also going with Nick's pick here. I am going USC minus 2.5. Big Ten team going to the West Coast. I think it's going to be tough for Michigan. USC's offense is going to be able to score points. So give me USC minus 2.5. And that, like I said, is my lock.
All right, Matt, it is time for you to take us home. And then Mike Merrifield, I can't wait to hear his picks because I know they're going to be incredible.
I have 6 picks for the week. First off, Friday night, sharing it with Jay. I can't wait. This might be the Group of 5 game of the year. Actually, there's one other Group of 5 game that might rival this one.
JMU.
That's JMU versus Texas State on Tuesday, October 27th, I believe. I don't know why that game's being played on a Tuesday, but it's actually going to be, that will be a great football game. Anyways, give me North Texas at home. Some places you look, they're getting 1.5. Some places you look, they're favored by 1.5. Obviously, 1.5 point favorites means follow the Mike Merrifield rule. I'm just taking them, pick them, money line. The money line is minus 110 everywhere I look. North Texas, money line, mean green, get it done. Love it. Next up, there's a lot of dangerous lines in the Big 12. They're all bear traps, even though I don't think Baylor's playing this weekend, but they are bear traps. Arizona pick is one of them, Jay. I want nothing to do with Arizona because I got burned so many times last year, but I'm walking right into Manhattan. Give me TCU minus 1.5 against the Kansas State Wildcats. Kansas State's not good. Their offense, when they play a real defense, i.e. one that isn't run by Dave Aranda, can't move the football. As bad as we complain at Michigan State, at least we don't have a defensive head coach that can't coach defense. So give me TCU minus 1.5. They got a nice backdoor cover. They're the only team that won for me last week in a 1-5 week. I'll ride with the Horned Frogs, Hypnotoad minus 1.5. Next up, Oregon, lock of the week. Moving on. Iowa State, another bear trap in the Big 12. Iowa State, that number dropped below 3 as they head to Boulder to take on Coach Prime and the Buffaloes. Matt Campbell on one side, Deion Sanders on the other. Matt Campbell wins 99 times out of 100, and it's south of a field goal. Give me Iowa State on the road. They're going to bounce back. Cincinnati might be good. What's up?
Is Deion Sanders coaching this weekend? I saw he had a medical procedure yesterday, and it sounded like they didn't know when he was going to be back on the field.
Is he flying out to a parking lot or a car dealership, I should say, to watch his son interview about being the backup quarterback and the quarterback ahead of him in the depth chart being traded to an in-division in-state rival?
It's a great question.
Does Deion Sanders mime his play calls into the headset like his son does in the locker room during media availability?
I hope so.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry. I hate Deion Sanders. Terrible head coach. It might be better for Colorado if he's not there. Give me the Cyclones -2.5. Next up, I can't remember which of you picked it. I think Jay took it. Give me UFC -2.5. Mike Merrifield rule again. I think there's 4 games this week that follow the Mike Merrifield rule, maybe 5. This one's one of them. Sharon Moore's poking the bear. I know Lincoln Riley's not a very scary bear, but still, I would not make a joke about a team selling out their home stadium.
He is a hairy bear.
Lincoln Riley?
He's a hairy bear.
No, he's really not. He's balding. Anyways, give me the Trojans. Fight on, baby. On Big Ten Saturday night. I love that intro song. 5 o'clock this morning, I was showing my coworker the Big Ten Saturday night intro. Absolutely love it. Gets me fired up every single time. Finally, 10:30. I think it's on Fox. Give me Utah -5.5. It's supposed to be gross out in the mountains in Salt Lake City. I talked about Arizona State a couple weeks ago. They are adrenaline-based nonsense. That doesn't work going up into the mountains late on a Saturday night. Saturday night games, you have to pick the home team in these Big 12 West Coast. This is a Pac-12 matchup. So Pac-12 late night, you take the home team. 5.5-point favorites. Utah still is decent. Give me the Utah Utes. And lock of the week was Oregon. All right, now we welcome in our 4th member of our team, the All-American man, as Gus Johnson would say. The AAM by Nick. Okay. Well, Jay, you get to witness.
Nick's gone. I'll give him a round of applause, though. Nick didn't want to hear it.
Gentleman.
Gentle JDC.
JDC, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How many?
I am very honored.
Oh,
Oh, there he is.
What's
Honored
your
to be part of your weekly entourage here, guys. So bear with me.
Absolutely.
I had kind of a rough day at work today, and I didn't get a chance to sit down and go through this. So I'm literally scrolling FanDuel as I talk to you guys. Okay, so yeah, there's 4 games that follow, as Matt calls it, the Mike Merrifield rule, and so North Texas, obviously, you guys are all on board with that already. I like Illinois plus the 14.5 this weekend. I don't think that Ohio State has had kind of a roller coaster. Illinois plays tough at home, and I think they keep it within 2 touchdowns.
Good pick.
Alabama -3.5 at Missouri. I feel that the Missouri program, basically since they've joined the SEC, is fraudulent, and I just don't think they're more hype than they are substance. So look for Alabama to stay hot and continue their roll. Let's see. What are you laughing at?
Will Kalen DeBoer be wearing the black hoodie? That is the most important question.
He should be. I mean,
as in a death shroud black hoodie? Is that what we're talking about here?
No, it's actually a death.
Texas follows the Mike Merrifield rule, so that goes without saying. I also, to echo Matt, like TCU in the psychedelic frogs this weekend. What else? Indiana, Oregon. Here's where I differ, fellas. Indiana, I do believe that Kirk Signelli has his players play for heart. They actually believe in what they're doing.
Question.
Yeah.
Which SEC team will Kurt Signetti be coaching next year?
That's a great question, because let me put it like we talked about earlier, like Matt brought up for me. This is their statement game. If Signetti wants to be taken seriously, they will cover the 7.5 this weekend, and I am looking for them to do so. Let's see what else we have. We're going to skip that Tennessee-Arkansas game because that line scares the bejesus out of me. Same with Florida and Texas A&M. Oh, I like Georgia to cover the 3.5 on the road playing Auburn. I think Georgia had a little bit of a wake-up call against Alabama, so they should be good to go the rest of the year and pretty much a safe bet. Somebody needs to explain to me the Michigan State line. Why is it 8.5?
Because UCLA is going to show up naked this weekend. They do not care. This game does not matter.
Yeah, Michigan State isn't good.
State's homecoming. I really don't understand it.
UCLA has nothing. Their head coach has been in the media all week. He doesn't know how to use his own damn headset.
He's still smarter than Deshaun Foster.
That's besides the point. Michigan State has to. Michigan State's going to cover this weekend. Michigan State almost made my board.
Oh God!
Michigan follows the Mike Merrifield rule, so we're taking USC. That one is a secondary block of the week, right behind Arizona State and Utah. Utah is going to most definitely take care of business there. I think I got 2 more. Nick, I came in here as you were starting to do picks, and I was telling Matt that you don't mess with the Rainbow Warriors when they're at home and dogs. So you can absolutely Give me some Credos on the Hawaii line. And I think, that's going to be about do it. So when those all hit, guys, you can put a couple of them into a parlay and make some money for yourselves.
When Jay needs some extra doubloons at the Riv on Saturday.
And I've discovered a cheat code when it comes to betting.
Oh, dear Lord.
You make a parlay out of your noon and 1 o'clock games. You make a parlay out of your 3:30, 4 o'clock games, and you make a parlay out of your 7 and 7:30 games. That's how you come out ahead on the end money line, Jay. I know I'm blowing your mind right now, DeCoster, but it's a cheat code. Okay.
And to answer your question, Matt, Kurt Signetti will be coaching Florida next year.
Wow. No, because Billy Napier refuses to die. He's like a cockroach.
You know where I think
he's going to die?
Mississippi State. Because they'll be the only ones that'll take a chance on an older coach.
They're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire. Is it
Mississippi State's been decent this year. They're not going to.
Mississippi State. They're going to make a bowl. They're not firing their head coach. It's the second year.
Who's a program? Was it like a Kentucky then? Maybe
Bob Stoops or Mark
Bob
Stoops.
Stoops is
Mark Stoops will be
one of those
Mark
types of.
Stoops is done.
Kentucky's a good answer.
One of those lower
Good
teams.
answer.
One of
Like
those
Family
lower
Feud.
teams that because you won't see a team that like a I don't know who would be in trouble maybe. Oh, you know who needs to go is what's his nuts at Texas, Sarkisian.
What's his nuts is not getting fired. Would Kurt Signetti be interested in going to Happy Valley, even though James Franklin not getting fired?
James Franklin, future SEC head coach. Where? Who knows? Maybe that is the Kentucky job for him. Who knows?
All I know is Matt's been hearing about how bad Drew Allery is for 4 years now.
He is. He's terrible.
Joe Klatt would very much disagree with him.
And Joe Klatt.
Joe Klatt's an idiot.
For everybody and Nick's editing purposes, I muted the mic, and it was very much a good decision. So you don't want to know where Joe Klatt sits. That's all I'm going to say. Can we real quick talk about the Big 12 lines this weekend? Like,
sure.
Who set these? Because they hate everything. As Jay pointed out, Arizona feels fishy. TCU feels dangerously low.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State feels dangerously low.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Texas Tech line is way too big. I think Kansas can keep it within a score.
Not on the road. Texas Tech's a different animal at home.
Texas Tech's, I mean, they're damn good.
Kansas just likes playing one-score games. Like whether or not they lost by 11 at Missouri, so they proved they go on the road somewhere and not get their butts kicked.
Daniels just is a dangerous quarterback. It's like playing against South Carolina and what's his nuts.
You know, that's why Texas Tech just changed their logo. Literally, like they're making a brand change. I love it. Give me Texas Tech easy.
It's ready for Cincinnati UCF. Nothing screams Big 12 football like an American athletic.
Plus they throw tortillas on the field on the kickoff. It's just I love it. I love Lubbock.
Hey, if you throw too many tortillas, though, it's a 15-yard penalty. So
how many tortillas is too many tortillas?
Did you guys do dumpster dives?
We did not do dumpster. There's too many good games this week. So
I mean, we could if you want to throw one out.
Do you have a dumpster dive?
I'm sure I can.
I took Kent State -2.5 against UMass. So
Jesus.
UMass is.
Oh, I know who I like. I like
UMass.
Navy laying 9.5 against Temple.
That's a good pick.
It's a good pick.
Maybe so.
I think I like New Mexico getting 17 at Boise. I think. I don't know.
That's rough.
That's not really rough. Those are two entertaining football teams.
How is it fair that they're playing on blue turf and they wear blue uniforms at home?
It's incredibly fair.
Dude, especially at night, that's got to be hard as hell for a quarterback to be able to distinguish that.
I feel like it'll be harder for the quarterback. That's why Penn State doesn't wear all white during the whiteout because they want the differentiation.
Because Drew Allery's not smart enough to pick him out. I
Yeah.
got it.
Okay, dumpster dive. Matt, does Wake Forest -2.5 at Oregon State count?
No, Oregon State. It does count. That does count. I will say that game counts. Unfortunately, do not take Wake Forest.
Oh, okay.
Don't take Wake Forest. Traveling across it. I saw something this week. Oregon State's expected record based on how they've played this year is, I believe, 3-2, and they're 0-5. They are due for a win.
Matt, I need you to do homework for me for next week because you guys are big on this stat.
The West Coast East
Teams that move 2 time zones to play football, what is their actual record this year? Because I think it's less of an impact than you think.
At what percentage would you consider it a
If
stat?
they were hitting on,
Would you say north of 60?
yes.
Okay. We'll have the number for you next week on the Merrifield Sportsbook Show. That's called the tease.
Yeah. Also, another dumpster dive might not count. Does the Cincinnati Bengals plus 14.5 against the Packers count?
Anything include with Jake Browning involved?
Joe
is
Flacco's
definitely
fine.
Yeah, Joe Flacco's
Flacco's
the guy.
That's right. He got traded.
Could Joe Flacco become the first quarterback to beat a team twice in a year for a separate franchise each time? I hope so.
Does Zach Taylor actually think
That'd be
Joe
so
Flacco
good.
is going to save his tenure in Cincinnati?
I don't know.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay. I have the Penguins game on, Matt. These thirds are awful. I'm out.
These thirds? Oh, the third jerseys?
Yeah, they're disgusting.
I never even saw a picture of them, so I can't wait to go tune into that. But
Well, they didn't even post them. They just walked out in them. They're terrible.
Are they black? Are they black and gold, or did they go with
I think
the
they're
old
yellow.
school blues?
They're yellow.
they're yellow. The disappointment.
I've curled my lip for those of you that can't see my face. Wonderful.
All right.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
do we have
do
anything
we
else?
have anything else?
Let's see. I got nothing. I wish I did. I thought I did, but I don't think so.
Baseball? Anybody like to talk baseball?
Jay's going to the bar.
Jay's going to the bar.
I am going to the Wrigleyville bar.
What's your name, Jay?
Yes. Well,
Anthony Swanson.
I'll tell you later.
You'll tell her later. All right.
Yeah,
Over
I'll
omelets on Saturday morning.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I want
With mimosas
I want
and
picture
omelets.
and I want physical proof.
Yeah. All right. I'll make sure to get on that. That's my homework. Yeah. We'll take the Brewers money line. There you go.
Nick, I'm leaving at 6 a.m. on Saturday. If you want to jump in the car with Breslin and I to go to the tailgate, hang out at the game.
I got to work. So
Oh, bummer.
DCFC plays.
Oh, gotcha.
Duty calls.
last home
As
game
long
of
as
the
he's not in
season.
St. Louis, right?
Well, okay.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh man.
All right.
Oh, see ya.
All right. Thank you so
fellas.
much for tuning in. One episode. Yeah, click like, subscribe. You'll see more content like this every week because that's what this show is. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you again next week, hopefully with Jay Walsh for another episode of the Merrifield Sportsbook Show.